Okay, so if you're a product manager today, let's talk about the one skill that has become absolutely non-negotiable. And that's strategic AI fluency. And no, we're not just talking about prompt engineering here. This is about the deep strategic thinking you need to turn cool AI tech into a lasting, defensible product.
So, let me ask you a question. Does this sound familiar? You're messing around with the latest models, you're building all these prototypes, but something just isn't clicking. Your AI initiatives feel more like a bunch of science projects than a coherent strategy. If that hits home for you, trust me, you are absolutely not alone.
These points right here, this is a universal feeling for PMs right now. You know, it starts with that excitement, hey, let's see what this new model can do. But that often just leads to a flurry of prototypes that never, ever actually ship. And the thing is, the stakes for getting this wrong are incredibly high. I mean, we've all seen how a single AI error can have massive consequences, like wiping $100 billion off a company's value. This isn't just about shipping features anymore, it's about strategic survival. So why does this all feel so different? You know, why are the old product management playbooks just failing us? Well, it's because AI isn't just another new piece of tech. It's a fundamental shift, and it comes with a completely new set of rules. Think about the last big tech shifts, like the move to cloud or mobile. As you can see on the left, that was kind of a gradual path. We had time to adopt. PMs could focus on just planning out the next feature. But AI? Whoa. As you see on the right, it's like a rocket ship. The adaptation has to be immediate. The skill you need isn't just planning. It's a complete strategic rethink of your entire product from the ground up. So here's the crucial point, the real takeaway. Trying to treat AI as just another feature you can bolt onto your product is a recipe for failure. It's a whole new design philosophy. It fundamentally reshapes your product's architecture and, most importantly, its ability to defend itself in the market. And if you don't adapt your thinking, you risk falling into one of these three existential traps. First, your costs can spiral out of control, because unlike normal software, every single use of your AI product can cost real money. Second, your product can become a commodity overnight, because these powerful foundation models are available to everyone, and that leads to the third trap, a lack of a real moat. If you're just a thin wrapper around an API, you have no sustainable competitive edge. Okay, so that's the problem, the shift, and the traps. It can really feel like you're lost in a maze. But the good news is, there's a playbook. There's a clear 5-phase framework to help you navigate it. And this right here, this is your map. This 5-phase strategy takes you all the way from building your initial moat to generating real momentum. So let's walk through it, and we'll focus on the key actions you need to take at each stage. So here's the journey, nice and simple. We start with direction. That's all about choosing how you'll defend your product. Then we move to differentiation, figuring out how to survive in a world of clones. Next is design, building for cost and trust. Then deployment, how to scale safely. And finally, leadership, which is about embedding this new way of thinking into your company's DNA. All right, let's get into it. Time to move from theory to practice and break down how to actually build your AI product using this playbook. Phase 1 is all about direction, and that means choosing your moat. Before you write a single line of code, you have to answer these 3 questions. First, are you creating a unique data flywheel, something that gets smarter and more valuable with every single user interaction? Second, do you have built-in distribution loops so that one user's activity naturally brings in the next one? And finally, are you building enough trust for users to actually rely on your AI for critical, high-stakes decisions? This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Anyone can rent access to a powerful model from OpenAI or Anthropic, but a true defensible moat, that is something you have to own and build yourself. Okay, let's move on to phase 2, differentiation. See, a moat is the long game, but differentiation is how you survive day 1, and you do that by pulling these levers. Are you deeply embedded in users' workflow, like Figma is? Do you have some unique domain context that a general model just doesn't have, like Harvey for legal work? Or can your community amplify the product, like Midjourney's users do? Phase 3, design? Well, it's a constant tightrope walk. On one side, you have cost. I mean, look at Perplexity. They're burning nearly $1 million a month. You have to model for your worst case costs, not just your best case dreams. And on the other side is user value. You've got to find those perfect little micro moments to insert AI, like Google's Smart Compose, instead of just building big clunky gimmicks. So you've designed the product. Now it's time for deployment. The best way to think about this is like a dam. You don't just blow it open and unleash a flood, right? No, you open the gates slowly. Start small. Do an internal release or a pilot program.
Control the adoption curve and gather feedback so you can get smarter, not just bigger. And this brings us to the final and honestly the most critical phase of them all. This isn't just about building a product. It's about leading a fundamental shift inside your organization. This is the new mandate for product leaders. So what does that look like? Well, these are your key leadership moves. You have to shift from thinking about individual features to designing an entire system. You need to learn how to articulate the magic of the user experience, not just the ROI. And you've got to evolve your testing culture from simple A/B tests to structured, hypothesis-driven experiments so you can actually learn and adapt. This quote from Satya Nadella just nails the essence of AI leadership. The success of products like Copilot came from creating a powerful narrative, a really clear why. Without that strategic story, the technical how just gets lost, and your efforts will become scattered all over again. So at the end of the day, AI product strategy is the single most important skill for a PM today because it forces you to understand the entire ecosystem. It's the connective tissue that holds everything together, from your defensible moat and your cost model, all the way to your team and your roadmap. And that brings us to our final thought. The stakes here just could not be higher. Product managers who master this new strategic fluency, they're going to be the CPOs of tomorrow. Those who don't, well, they risk being left behind. So the question is pretty simple. Which path will you choose?